Hey guys, it's Corbin from Circa 2020 out here at the pistol range now to go over the brand new EDC for the Circa 2020 group. The new everyday carry pistol is going to be this Taurus G2S. Now normally I don't like single stack pistols, but this one I kind of like the feel of in my hand. Right away did a Lakeline LLC +1 in both of my magazines, and also did the front fiber optic sight. Two must-have mods I feel like on any G2 product at all, whether it's the S, the C. We're going to do a stainless steel guide rod and stuff like that on the channel, but this is what I got done so far. So after we do some shooting, I'll break down what I like and what I don't like about the pistol. But for now, we're going to get to blowing rounds downrange. All right, we're firing. All right guys, so these are my first rounds out of this pistol. You guys got to see it, the first rounds out of it. Rapid firing, not really taking my time. I would say miss, but out of the +1, 15, out of the 15 rounds we put down range, 2 of them, 3 of them, not the best, but at 7 yards, real quick firing. First time back on open sights with a pistol in a little while. I've been shooting a lot of red dot. There we go. So I'm real happy with it, and I'll meet you back here, probably back at the house, and we'll talk more about the Taurus G2S that we're going to carry with us every day. We'll see you. Hey guys, what's going on? Corbin from Circa 2020. Again, kind of running out as many videos as we could. I was able to break free today for a little bit, so I wanted to kind of put some content out there for you guys like I told you I was going to this week. I promise the PP holsters video is coming up. I had a couple people message. They really want to see that video. I haven't had a chance to put all that together. It's probably going to be next week until I have that amount of time. This happened to be while I was traveling today. I was able to get some footage. It just really worked out strangely. I didn't think I was going to be able to put any actual action video up this week, and it was just going to be more of me talking, which isn't always the best. So I'm really excited to be able to bring you some cool footage. I told you we had a new EDC video about 2 weeks ago. I wanted to wait until I had some experience with the EDC firearm to share with you. So here we are going to talk about probably one of my favorite EDC rifle or EDC pistols that I've ever touched. I don't have a lot of experience with the carrying or the shooting with it yet, very little, but so far I'm pretty impressed. But I have some things that I don't like about it as well. So we're here to talk about the Taurus G2S. Now, if you're a Gucci lover, you come to the channel, you know that we do budget things. So you might not love everything we do. You might not love the fact that we have a Taurus in our hands right now. But I want you to hold up for a second. Taurus has not always been known to make the most flashy or beautiful firearms, but they have always been, you know, pretty reliable firearms. Since, you know, the original Millennium, that had a few issues here and there, they've developed this G2 line to kind of be like the Millennium Point 2. They have the G2C, the G2 Compact, which is a double stack 9mm. And then they have the G2S, which is a single stack. So I normally don't like single stack firearms. I actually don't like them at all. I'm not even a huge 1911 fan. It's true. I'm not a huge 1911 fan. Now, I'm not saying that I'll never own, you know, I had one for many years. I'm not going to say that I'll never own one. And I don't like shooting them. They're okay, but I just don't find, I feel like you can, like, I feel like the Canik TP9 SFX does just as well as any 1911 does for shooting, and it has a lot more features. and it's not as heavy. So for me, and 1911s, you know, even though most of them are single stack, it's not like that's the thing I hate about them. And I don't want to go off about this forever. I'm not a huge single stack fan. I don't even like 1911s that much. So I happened to run into a pretty good deal with this G2S. I was in the market for a subcompact 9. I had a car CW9 for a while, and I kind of fell out of love with that. It wasn't very much fun to shoot. Most subcompacts 9 or even compact 9mm are not that much fun to shoot. But I just, you know, it wasn't anything special. The sights on it are meh. The trigger on it was not good. But the size was, it looked good, and the size was overall okay. I just fell out of love with it. So I ended up replacing that with a couple, you know, I move firearms around. I try not to, but I do sometimes. And anyways, I wanted to get another compact 9. Some members of my family have a lot of experience with this G2 line, the G2S and the G2C. One of my family members has a G2C that he probably has over $1,000 in. It is a Raptor cut from NC Engravers. It's cut for slot, or cut for a sight. It's got a Vortex sight on it. I mean, it's got an Apex trigger. The whole thing is just really, really well built. It shoots like $1,000 gun. But the cool thing is, you can pick these up under $300 normally in their stock form. And even in their stock form, they're pretty nice. Because this is 90% stock. The only items that have been modified on this G2S is a fiber optic front sight, which I think is the second most important modification to the first most important modification, which I also did, which is a +1 magazine well. Now, I've said before in this channel, and maybe you guys don't realize, I have pretty big paws, especially long palm, and I have long fingers too. They're proportional, but I have a really long palm. That's why I don't like single stack guns. Look at how big my palm is compared to this gun. It covers 60% of the firearm with my palm. Because of that, I can damn near full wrap a single stack. I like this first joint on your finger to sit right on this front leading edge, and then I like the back strap to fill in all the palm. If I do that with this, I could almost put my thumb put my thumb all the way to the front of the trigger guard. It's ridiculous. So single stacks are tough for me to use because of how big my hands are. They would have been even tougher if I would have used the base plate that comes flush with this little bit of grip that sticks out here. That's how flush the base plate is. I'd basically be two fingering and the pinky would kind of be down here aimlessly. The +1 allows a full pistol grip, and then it takes a lot of the suck out of the single stack. What I end up doing is still going with the same grip that I like, but end up having a little bit of void. I could basically put a finger inside and still be where I want to be. And I would love to have like a piece of grip that sticks up there, because that feels really nice. Whereas, you know, keeping my fingers out and having that void in there allows for some slop and turn of the pistol, and it loses accuracy. And I know that, but it's just how I like to shoot, so it's how I'm going to shoot. What I do like about this pistol, let's pull the mag out. Yes, there's some in the mag, but there's nothing in the chamber. I'm very conscious of how my firearms are. What I do, sorry guys, my allergies are whack today. What I do love about this pistol is because it's a single action style, the trigger's not bad. This is a stock trigger on a $300 gun or less. It's not bad. You have a lot of that sponge take up. You do have a center safety blade, but then pretty crisp break. You go right on the wall, and then it breaks into a long travel. I want to reiterate that. So, triggers up. Oh, yep, sorry, triggers up. Tons of take up, but it's not crunchy. It's just sponge, you know, just sponge, but lots of take up. But once you're on the wall, it's pressure, pressure, no travel. Pressure, pressure, break, and then when it breaks, it travels about 3/8 of an inch. And then reset, Not bad about that. It's the fall after the break, you know, and it falls to the wall. You bring it back to right where that break was. That's where it resets, and then you just continue. It's not bad, guys. The trigger in this is actually pretty impressive for the price point of the firearm. Now, it does have a safety. I like firearms with safeties. I do. So many times in the compact 9mm market, you just don't get safeties in the firearm. And, you know, I can carry a gun without one. I have for years. The car, the SCCY that I had, no safety. I don't have a problem with it. I'll carry it like that all the time. It's fine. But a lot of times when you don't have a safety, what do you have? A double action only firearm with a terrible trigger. Having a safety in a single action style firearm allows you to have a lot more fun shooter at the range, but still have a reliable concealed carry weapon. Because let's face it, double action only triggers at the range suck. It's really hard to be accurate with them. The trigger never gets any better. It never gets any worse. It just sucks. This platform I like a lot. I'm a fairly big person, you know, 6 foot, 195 pounds. So for me to carry this size pistol, it's pretty easy. Weight wise, you know, this is fully loaded +1 minus there's nothing in the chamber. So I'm 1 round short of a complete stack in here. Or I would say I'm about exactly where factory loaded would be. And it's not too bad. You obviously have a polymer lower with a steel slide, steel barrel. Plastic guide rod, which I don't love, but I understand for the price point, they're gonna have to cut corners in some places. And the finish on this is really cool. You have kind of a black speckled sniper gray, almost looks like the sniper gray Cerakote, with a black speckle finish, and the speckle actually is, it must have been put on there because you can feel it, and in some spots it's kind of heavy, in some spots it's very light. So I believe that there are no two black speckle gray G2Ss alike on the market. I have a pretty good feeling about that. And then this one has some fill in where the letters were. So I really like this firearm for the sub $300 market. I don't know where you're going to find a whole lot more pistol, but I think you really have to put, if you have larger hands or even if you're just a normal sized person, the +1 magazine from Lakeline LLC along with their front fiber optic sight and rears if you want, but I think the front is obviously most important. Why not? Why not? It's pretty nice. It also comes with a little Picatinny rail section here. Accuracy wise, pretty accurate. Shot at 7 yards. 7 yards was pretty easy to stay right inside ahead on an actual man-sized target. I think I took 16 shots downrange. Only 2 of them flew off, and they were off just barely on the edge of the head. 14 shots were dead people. So, dead bad guys. Got to be careful with that. So, I'm impressed with the accuracy. It's only 7 yards, but I'm impressed with the accuracy. I'm pretty impressed with the trigger. Overall, I think for the price point, fantastic firearm, nothing wrong. If you're looking for a great budget EDC 9mm, look no further than the Taurus G2S or the G2C. I think I might buy a G2C as well, just because I don't like single stack. I told you that 3 times. But I do like this gun. Don't judge single stack by what I say. I just prefer double stack. But for concealed carry, single stack does make it very nice and thin. Oh, the other thing, 2 things I don't like. I don't even know if I talked about this yet besides the single stack because I hate them so much I have to talk about it 24/7. 2 things real quick, then we'll get on to the action, I promise. Taurus, please, I know you put this little cut in here for a finger, and that's nice. Do a serration or a knurling. I'm probably going to end up doing it myself with a Dremel because I like to really, when I come up, press check, whoop, safety, press check, clear. When I come up and I'm on trigger, I like to put my non-shooting index on the front of the guard and kind of do a looser grip with my shooting hand, so I'm not, you know, shaking and squeezing and torquing my wrist. but I like to put all the pressure into my shooting hand with the index finger or two fingers if the guard's big enough, with my non-shooting hand. This thing with 115 grain had so much recoil, it would come right, the trigger guard would flip right out. The trigger guard would flip right out of that finger. There was no way for me to stay holding on to it. So Taurus, if you're listening, put either a deeper bevel, a deeper cut in there, serrate it, knurl it, do something to give us a little bit better grip on the trigger guard for the way you're supposed to shoot the firearm. And you know, the other thing was just the general recoil. Now, I don't want you to be scared of it because it's still a 9mm. It's a compact 9. All compact 9s are going to recoil with 115 grain. But it was a little bit more than I expected out of it. But still, not bad. It's a compact 9. It's going to recoil. My father had actually suggested maybe trying 124 grain and seeing if that tames the recoil down a little bit. I do think going with a stainless steel guide rod, putting a little bit more weight up front, along with some upgraded recoil springs, could help with that too. So we're going to farts around with this thing. These are pretty cheap to upgrade. I actually have a sight plate for it already, and I have some pistol sights coming in to test for the armory. So who knows? This might be a little Circa 2020 project. How about this? Before I cut to the action scene, if you're listening, I want you to tell me what you would like to see the next modification on this pistol be. And with that, we'll see ya.